Welcome to another video, guys. My name is Marlon, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the newly released Hohem iSteady V2 AI smartphone gimbal. Let's do this. Full disclosure, this was sent out to me by Hohem Tech. They reached out to me and invited me to review their newly released gimbal. I agreed. It's not a sponsored video, and I'm not obligated to say anything I don't want to say about the gimbal. I'm going to share my honest thoughts and opinion with you guys about this. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at what's included with the gimbal. So straight out of the box here, you're going to get your quick start guide. You're going to get your storage pouch, your actual manual, a wrist strap, a charging cable that includes a USB Type A adapter. The actual cable is a USB-C to USB-C, the mini tripod, and then the actual gimbal. So the iSteady V2 is currently selling for $129 USD. We'll drop links for you guys if you're interested to check them out down below. They are affiliate links. They come in two colors. They come in white and black. Before I get into the details about the specs, and I want to point out the main feature of this is the AI sensor that this gimbal brings. And it's different in the sense that from other gimbals, for example, you need to use an app. With this gimbal, you don't. It'll track your face without any app, and it's compatible with third-party apps as well. So that is a really cool feature about this, and I'll show you guys a few examples of that later on in the video. So this is a 3-axis gimbal, has a roll, pan, and tilt axes, and a rotation angle of 320 degrees. The gimbal, as you can see, is very small, very compact. It weighs 263 grams, so it's very lightweight, and it folds up really nicely. And the actual gimbal itself can has a max payload capacity of 280 grams. I've used this with an iPhone 12 Pro with no issue, but I mainly use this with my iPhone 12 mini, and simply because I love the small setup. But the gimbal itself has a built-in battery, a lithium-ion battery in here. It's a 2800 milliamp hour battery. And the great thing about this is that the battery works as an emergency power bank or as a power bank. You could just charge this up right through the USB-C port right here. Keep in mind though, if you have an iPhone like I do, you're gonna have to get a USB-C to Lightning cable in order to charge your cable or your iPhone, because it is not included with the gimbal. So just keep that in mind. On the bottom of the gimbal here, you have a quarter mount screw, so you can attach your mini tripod, and right next to that is where you would attach your wrist strap. But yeah, this comes in really handy because not only can you use this as a tripod to place the gimbal down on a table or on a surface like that, but it also works as an extension of a handle. So if you have a bigger hands and you need more room, it works great for that as well. So to download the app, you can use the QR code or go to the Hohem website, or just go to your iTunes store and download Hohem Pro. I'm just going to scan it here real quick with the QR code. There we go. Then it'll prompt you to download either from the App Store or from the Google Play Store for Android. And so I already downloaded it, but that's the Hohem Pro app. So to power it up, you're going to press the power button here. It's on the right-hand side of these two buttons here. This is the power and function button. You're going to long press it, and it's going to flash red and green. You'll see this little light right here flash red and green. There's green, red. Now we're going to bring up the app, and make sure your Bluetooth is on your phone, because it's already found the iSteady V2, as you can see there. Anyhow, tap on connect and connect there. You're going to pair it, and here it says activate iSteady V2. When you connect it for the first time to receive the warranty, access iSteady info. Hohem will only access the necessary information for activation. You got to tap that on to get that. I already registered this with my, with my previous Hohem with my email there. So I'm going to use that same email, and it's activating now. And let's go home. Let's tap the home there. Go ahead and tap on start, and here we have the app. So now we're connected and ready to shoot. One other thing, once you make that Bluetooth connection, you're going to have to go into the app and follow the steps and create an account to actually activate the gimbal. If you don't do this, the gimbal will not work, so just keep that in mind. Let me show you guys how to actually mount and unfold the gimbal. All right, so to mount your phone, you're just going to unfold the gimbal. Just make sure this is loosened here. Unfold the gimbal upwards. Tighten the screw so it's secured in place. so this won't fall back in. You're gonna grab the phone mount, or the phone clamp I should say. Make sure the sensor is facing upward. And then you're gonna pull down the bottom part of the clamp and slide your phone in. When you slide your phone in, make sure that your lens is on the left side. When you're facing the gimbal, it's facing the left. And now all you're gonna do is slide it to the left and right until it is balanced. So right now we just have a little too much towards the left. Let's slide it to the right. Kind of slide it there, and then it's balanced. So now you're ready to go. All you need to do is power it up, and you're all set. So looking at the actual gimbal here, let me show you guys everything on here. Up top, you have the AI sensor power button right here. You have an indicator light for that there. And then right here, directly in front of you is the sensor. And you have an LED light right here as well. On the left-hand side of the gimbal, you have the slider, the zoom slider right here. So you can zoom in and out. And then right in the center, you have the joystick. Right there on the left is the shutter button. You have your battery power indicator here, so it's fully charged because it's lit up to 3 lights. On the side, you have the USB-C charging port. We have here the pan motor, which is right here. Again, this is a 3-axis gimbal, so you have your pan motor, you have your tilt motor right here, and then on the back over here, you have your roll motor. So let me show you guys how to turn on the AI vision sensor to power it on. Up top, you have that power button. You're just gonna single press it once. The red light indicator is gonna flash there or turn on, and it's gonna flash twice after 3 seconds. And so now the AI sensor is activated. To turn on the LED light, you have 3 power levels. So you have your first one, you just press the button up top, the power button once. That's the lowest. The mid-level, press it again. And then for the highest output, the 3rd time there. To turn it off, you just turn it off up top. And that's how you work the LED light. Let me show you guys how you work the actual AI visual tracking with your hand gestures. All right, again, to activate this, you're gonna press that button up top. This works with some hand gestures. So you're gonna use this hand gesture right here to activate the smart tracking. So now it's activated, the green light is on, the indicator light is on, and it's gonna do smart tracking. See the phone following my movement? It's gonna do all that. And I'm being really exaggerated so you guys can see the actual gimbal moving over here. All right, if I want to start, or if I want to stop that, I'm just going to put my hand up. And then the light indicator turns red up top. So now, even if I move, I stopped it. Okay. You could also switch between landscape and portrait mode. So if I want to go to portrait mode, I'm going to go like that with both hands. And you can see the phone is in portrait mode now. If I want to go back to landscape, I'm going to go with both hands up like that. And so now it's in landscape mode. So those are the ways to get it to move with the AI sensor. Again, 3 fingers up. Now it's tracking me. And it's pretty cool because it does a great job actually tracking your movement. All right, so the button functions here for the power button. Again, to turn it off and on, you just press that long press it once. Single press, it'll change between the modes. So right now it's in landscape mode. If I want to go to portrait, just tap it once to go back, and just tap it back. If you double press it, it'll recenter the gimbal, like I showed you guys earlier. So if it's off like that, double press it, it recenters the gimbal there. If you triple press it, it goes into inception mode. I'm just going to reset the gimbal there, reset it. If you do 5 times, it'll actually do an auto calibration. I'm not going to do that right now. And if you do it 7 times, it'll pair it to a remote control that they sell, but that's sold separately. All right, let me show you guys the working modes here. The default one is the pan and tilt mode. So it'll tilt, or it'll pan, it'll tilt as well. If you want to change these using the buttons here, you're going to have to hold the shutter button and then use the power button. So to get to, for example, if you want to change over to the pan follow mode, you hold down that shutter button and double tap. So now the gimbal is only going to pan. Next up, if you want to switch over to the all lock mode, you're gonna triple tap the power button and hold that shutter button. And now the gimbal is locked. It won't pan, it won't tilt. And then finally we have the POV mode. Yeah, the POV mode, you're gonna hold the shutter button and tap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the gimbal is just gonna follow all over. It's gonna move all over. And then to go back to the default mode, you hold that shutter button and just tap it once. And now you are back into the pan and tilt mode. You can also control this in the app. You have a bunch of features here that I'm gonna show you here briefly. Let's go down here on the bottom left corner. You go to your camera parameter settings. You can change your video resolution. You can go all the way up to 4K, 60 frames per second. And so you have all these 1080p and 720 options. You can control the zoom speed here as well. You can add the grid. I'm gonna go ahead and add the grid. As you can see there, it has that rule of thirds grid. You can have a timer or pictures and stuff like that. You can turn on the professional mode, and what this does is it gives you control over your ISO, white balance, and so forth, shutter speed and all that. So I'm just gonna, for now, I'm just gonna leave it turned off. If you tap on the gimbal icon here, you could control the gimbal parameter settings here. So here's the working mode, the default pan and tilt that I showed you earlier. You can actually control the follow speed. So you have the general, and that's just for general purpose. You can do a slow, medium, fast, motor response. You can change the settings here as well, and it gives you an explanation as well. I'm gonna keep it on the medium as well, the default medium. Roll auto rotation is on. Left, right joystick. I got that for pan. You can set the joystick to be roll instead. You could also reverse the joystick by turning this on there. And you have the joystick speed as well. I have it set to medium. Everything's on default right now, so I'm just gonna keep it like that right now. And you could also change the tilt speed, the auto calibration. You can do it here as well. You can restore all your settings here to the factory settings. And you could also calibrate the AI positioning here by doing that. I'm not gonna do that right now. And then down here you have your device name, your serial number, firmware update or version, and so forth. On the right side, you could change your mode as well, video, photo, moment, which lets you do the inception, panoramic. You can do smart motion time lapse, dolly zoom. You have this dynamic feature as well, and you have the lucky one. Let's take a look at a few shots that I've taken with the gimbal. Okay, so all of the footage I'm gonna show you guys in this video is gonna be 24 frames per second. I don't record at higher frame rates to slow it down. I wanna use the gimbal. I want it to stabilize my footage that way, so I don't wanna cheat. I'm just gonna capture this nice area here with all these trees, and I'm gonna start recording, but I'm gonna use the actual iPhone app because it gives me a wider field of view and I can capture this better. So check this out. Let's see how well it does here. Here we go. We'll do a quick jogging shot. Just want to show the stabilization while you're running. Let's go. All right, so here I am jogging. Got my son behind me. What do you guys think? How'd it do? It's all right? So what did you guys think of those shots? I thought they looked really good, in my opinion. The image stabilization on the phone plus the gimbal, it's a really nice combination, smooths out your shots. I thought it did really well. So in terms of stabilization, I think it does a great job. All right, one minor gripe I do have about the gimbal is that when I'm using it with the iPhone 12 mini, the bottom clamp here sometimes presses the buttons and it just kind of wigs out my recording. It'll stop it. I have to slide it a little bit over, but sometimes I feel like it's not balanced. But when I use the iPhone 12 Pro, I don't have any issues. Another minor gripe is that when I'm using the rear camera on my phone, my main camera, I can't use the AI tracking because the sensor's on this side. it's facing me. It would be nice to see in the next version, maybe if they could make this like a swivel top where the sensor would you could just spin it around, and then you could, use the AI tracking this way to use that camera. You can turn the phone around, but then it's kind of in the way. You can't really see yourself well and all that. So that's just a minor gripe. But overall, I'm very happy with this gimbal. I do like the design and build quality of the gimbal. It's really nice. The stabilization is great. That to me is the main thing. Can it stabilize my footage? It does a great job, of course. The AI feature is fantastic as well. I could see myself using that a lot for a lot of live videos and video calls. Sometimes I put it in the kitchen and video call my mom. It'll follow my face while I'm moving and talking to her. I think that's a cool feature. And I could see myself vlogging a lot with this as well. Great travel gimbal as well. The design, like I said, very compact. The way you fold it up, throw that in your backpack, you won't even know it's in there. And it's so lightweight as well. So overall, very pleased with it. And you have a lot of control over the settings, which is something that I like as well. The power of the gimbal, the motor, the settings, the smoothness, very, very cool that you can go in there and tweak it to your needs. So far, no issues. The battery life has been really good. And again, just very pleased with this gimbal. So if you have any questions about it, guys, drop a comment down below. Links will be down there if you want to check it out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.